Hey everybody, it's Cheryl from Buckeye Outdoors. I'm guarding the microphone because I'm on the tarmac and under a C-130 Spectre gunship. How cool is that, right? Look at this thing. And Spectre, possibly thinking of Ghost, might be a pretty good term for the rest of the video. We're going to be exploring the National Museum of the United States Air Force, the greatest and largest of its kind. And we're going to be looking at the Haunted Ohio series of these videos and haunted aircraft, Air Force aircraft in particular, that have a history of knocks, noises, sounds, and whatever aircraft with notoriety. This aircraft did not make the list, but I'm telling you, the Spectre gunship needs no introductions. This is the Ghost. But anyway, we're going to take a look at these aircraft. We're going to take a look inside of some of them, see what you think. Draw your own conclusions. Are they haunted or not? Cheers. Hey everybody, it's Cheryl with Buckeye Outdoors. I'm out here with Nurse Angie Reviews at the National Museum of the United States Air Force. We're going to be looking at parts of the Air Force that happen to do with the Haunted Ohio series from Chris. There are numerous exhibits, and one of the saddest ones is right in front of us. This is the memorial kind of exhibit to the Holocaust that happened in World War II. We're going to be looking at about 8 different exhibits that are supposedly haunted here at Wright-Patterson Museum. I do hope you enjoy it. This is going to be an interesting little walk through this museum. So again, we're going to be looking at the Holocaust first. People report hearing and seeing things and getting just a horrible feeling while they're in this exhibit. So we are going to walk through it and kind of experience it. I probably won't say a lot. But again, people experience different things in this exhibit, so let's check it out. Do pause this if you want to read it further. Some of the quilts. It's a very tough place. You just feel heartbroken being amongst these artifacts. It's heartbreaking. Do pause that and read that. These are actual letters from Nazi Germany. That is the original. And that's the translated. You can pause that and zoom in on it. Might remember that sign that you saw at the entrance of the exhibit. These were some of the quilts that were made. But the feeling that people get in here is just horror, absolute horror. I can feel it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, it's just a tough place, right? This is a very tough place, guys. This is heartbreaking here. Anyway, that is the first stop in the exhibit, and it's heartbreaking here. That's the feeling I get. You can read up more on the story about this online, and through Haunted Ohio. Again, we are not sponsored or affiliated with Haunted Ohio in any manner, shape, or form. But I enjoy her work so much that I feel like giving her a little free promotion and a free nod is definitely worth it. So if you have a chance, drop some links to those ISBNs and check them out. Okay, so next on our list is a B-24D that goes by the name of the Strawberry Bitch. This B-24D houses the only malevolent spirits at the Air Force Museum. There are reports of rattles, cranks, shadowy figures, and even strange lights, which are common. One former janitor claims a ghost from the B-24D even slapped him in the face. This aircraft has some serious notoriety. I've heard that there was 2 reports where someone got knocked around by something in here. And this, again, it's a pretty amazing aircraft. We're actually going to get up the tripod here in a second, and we're going to walk around this as much as we can. As you can see, there are guardrails to prevent you from getting too close to the aircraft, because this is the National Air Force Museum, and a lot of these aircraft are absolute national treasures. We're even going to get a non-haunted as we know aircraft in here, just because it's the Memphis Belle. So let's take a walk around this aircraft. Again, this is the B-24D Strawberry Bitch. And she is a beauty. Again, a lot of reports on this aircraft. A lot of reports. This aircraft is busy. Alright, let's go check out an aircraft that isn't exactly haunted, but one I have been wanting to see since this place is put it on exhibit, and it's right back there. Okay, everybody, has promised, this one may not exactly be on the haunted list, but it is one of the most notable aircraft in the entire National Museum of the United States Air Force. It is the one and only Memphis Belle. They just recently unveiled this aircraft, and let's check it out. What a beautiful aircraft. The aircraft you're looking at now is called the Boxcar. This is the B-29 that dropped the atomic bomb Fat Man on Nagasaki. That aircraft killed 80,000 people and ended the war. It was one of the bombs that ended the war. There's a young Japanese boy that's said to hang around this exhibit. He comes out at night when few people are around. Let's take a closer look at it. Hey, we are back with the Delta Dagger. Is this plane haunted? Well, maybe not, but here's what happened to this aircraft on display. The pilot took off with this F-106 Delta Dagger. The aircraft lost control. It went into a flat spin. The pilot ejected. This plane was lost. Somehow, some way, the plane landed itself and was miraculously fine. A few very minor repairs. They were able to put the aircraft back out. Let's take a closer look. Let's take a look at the Delta Dart. This is a beautiful aircraft. It just looks so fast. But how did it land itself? And here's the story. This F-106 was involved in an unusual accident. During a training mission from Malmstrom Air Force Base, it suddenly entered an uncontrollable flat spin, forcing the pilot to eject. Unpiloted, the F-106 recovered on its own, apparently due to balance and configuration changes, and made a gentle belly landing in a snow-covered field. It was returned to service and flown to the Air Force Museum. So I guess that begs the question, was it haunted? We don't know. But one thing is for sure, this plane landed itself. How's that for a strange and odd, huh? Yeah, I've always liked some of the older fighter jets like this. They were big, they were long, they were fast. I mean, look at that guy, right? So I think this was a noteworthy aircraft, one for the story, because how exactly did it land itself? I mean, there's theories, but you could even ask staff here, and they scratch their head to this day over it. It's a bit of a national treasure. On to the next one. What you see in front of you is a UH-19B made by Sikorsky Aircraft. This aircraft was called Hopalong. This would medevac troops in Korea and Vietnam. Staff here said they'll see a pilot in the seat flipping switches and, quote, trying to get home. The seat in the aircraft is actually still stained with that pilot's blood. So people will see up in the cockpit area. Of course, you got the cabin down below. It's kind of a multi-tiered aircraft, and they would see the blood. You actually see the blood stains on. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. I could raise the camera up because it's on a tripod, and maybe we'll see it. I don't know. But we are going to do a walk around of this really unique helicopter. So that's the legend of this guy, is that you can still see the pilot up there trying to get home. Right now that tripod's well over 10 feet high. I can't possibly see what it sees right now. And of course is the lower area where they would put the litters and the troops would be inside of it. I would say something about regs on haircuts, but that's a mannequin. Some of you guys will get the joke there. So let's raise this tripod again. So now I can kind of see the pilot seat. Let's take a look. Again, you can pause that if you would like. And that, folks, is Hop Along. Alright, folks, this is supposedly called the Black Mariah, which was a Vietnam-era secret chopper. They called it a Sikorsky CH-3E. I was also HH-3E, also known as the Jolly Green Giant. I'm going to try to clarify that. There was a little bit of confusion as to exactly if that was a CH or what that was. So I'm going to try to find out for sure. The story behind this is it was used for classified missions, when really it was a lot of rescue operations. It's still filled with bullet holes. I'm still looking for the bullet holes, but possibly they're there. We'll see if we can find some. Now, the legend behind this one of the haunted is that you can still hear the moans and the voices of the troops it carried. So apparently you will still get, audio from this aircraft. It's a beautiful aircraft. It's armed to the teeth. And it's got the skyhook. It's got a lot going on here. This is a serious piece of equipment here. So we are going to walk around this now. We're going to go to the other side, cut, and then go back around. A lot of these are still in use today. Go around to the other side. Again, get you a little shot of the cockpit in there. We're going to go around to the back side of it.
Never stopped. Be careful, wounded. Shot back in the muzzle flashes and pretty good.
There's the CH-3E they talk about. Combat search and rescue. Incredible aircraft.
Next morning, 1966. The battle is over. Control enemy annihilated. Hit slammed on casualties. We made Fitzmaurice is a stockboy from a small town who told his parents on New Year's Eve that he was jumping a train that night.
Yet another amazing aircraft on our tour of the haunted Air Force exhibits. SAM 20, I believe it's 2600, which was also known as Air Force One, previous to the Air Force One 747 we had today. This aircraft is known because this carried President Kennedy's body after he was assassinated. All right. So my folks following the Haunted Ohio, let's take the presidential walk up to Air Force One. Cockpit area. Aerial sextant for navigation. A couple of supplies. This previously was all classified, of course. This was the communications facility. You know, this little guy here. It's really super cramped in here with Lexan walls, so I'll do my best to get this video in. Kitchen area. And this, I believe, was Secret Service. Would probably sit here. And again, this is super narrow through here. We got some galley seating up through here. And again, it's purported to be haunted. After the real tight in here, guys. Doing our best to film this for you. A lot of the CIC staff would have been here, Vice President, you know, the commanders in chief, that kind of thing. This was used just up until the 747 we now have today took its place. And the history is pretty heavy in this aircraft. So this area would have been housing, you know, the presidential staff would have been sitting in this area. Oh, it is so tight in here. You can hardly get through this aisle. This section would have been distinguished guests accompanying the president. So you can see that bulkhead to this one. It gets a little bit nicer. This thing is super plush. Lots of overhead storage. Again, folks, you were aboard Air Force One. Not many people have ever got to see this. This area would have been Air Force security personnel. Notice the seats got a little narrower. This would have been the immediate security detail, Secret Service or Air Force. Flight crew of SAM 26,000 made room for President Kennedy's casket by removing this partition and the first 4 seats. So right here, especially for you Haunted Ohio fans, would have been right where Kennedy's casket would have been laid. Soak that in for a minute, right? Alright, guys. And over there, that's a Constellation. That was one of the Air Force Ones as well.